Welcome back, people. We've got the Ford Kuga, and it was in last week, and we were doing the, what do you call it, we did the MOT on it, quick health check, and didn't really see nothing untoward. We could see the back brakes getting a wee bit hot, and there was a wee bit of pitting, and you could see this disc, it was orange. Pause here, I'll show you the other side. So same again, wee bit of pitting, but it's not all orange. I says it looks like that side's been getting hot, and the customer says yeah, it's been sticking, eh? So actually I think we maybe do the tyres on it. I think we did some tyres on it last week. So anyway, so it passes the MOT and the brake readings were fine now, however, but can't move it, it's solid. So can hardly even move it, so we'll get it up and just see what's going on. We've got a service kit there for it, so we've got oil, air, oil filter, air filter, 7 litres of oil. It's all MAN OE stuff, approved stuff, so it's the same as what the manufacturer would use, and that's your new plastic sump plugs, so quality stuff, and you get a new pin there. So this just goes in, turns. I don't know, I've no idea why they decided to come up with that, I've no idea. So we'll crack on here, we'll get the thing on the lift, we'll get the cover off it, we'll get the oil drained out it, and then we'll start working on these rear brakes and see what's going on. We've got a caliper there, so we've got everything there, so hopefully there's no dramas and there's nothing else that we need. Obviously we know that. Let's see. I can't move it at all now. Can't move it at all. This one we should be able to turn it, yeah. So let's see. There's a cable there, so I'll see if we can get on and pull that cable. Sure, I checked that last week when I was doing it at the station, so we'll pause here. Hey, I've just been able to pull it back, but the whole thing moved back, so I think it's just the caliper that's sticking. And now this lever mechanism, so we can see how hot that's been getting. So that one's swinging back as it should. There's that one, isn't he? Staying. So let's see what's going on there. Exhaust flange is okay for the time being. And you can see that sump, It's a crazy idea. Crazy idea, and it is a wee bit sweaty in here, so we'll just change that. There's also this as well. It's interesting, it could be coming to this crankcase and running down, just making it look like it's a, I don't think it's a crankshaft oil seal, I think it's going to be that there. So still never good, yeah. So unfortunately that'll be your crank ladder as well, so it'll be an expensive one, but it's not too bad. Not too bad, a wee sweat on it, something to keep an eye on. Front brakes are all good, suspension's all good, so we'll crack on and get this wheel off it and we'll see what's going on there. Get this engine turned off now, it's been running for a bit, so it's warm enough. So we've got the Kuga, we've got the wheel off, we've got the oil drained right, and I have disconnected that. It's actually that, it's all the sheathing, to be honest with you, that's come off it, it's coming away, so it's obviously trapped in there. You can see the caliper is fine. Obviously we've been getting hot because that's been obviously getting stuck. So this is probably just the same in there, come off, and it's probably trapped itself, because although it is a bit tight, I can still turn that, so I've just ordered a set of cables for it there. So we need to, there's one of the bolts there, take all of this plastic off, take at least some of the heat shields off it, and it comes as a pair, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll get back to the brakes I think. So we'll crack on with the service at the minute. But we have done our new sump plug and our new filter tight, so we'll put the oil in it, we'll run it, and we'll just make sure there's no any more leaks, and then we're waiting on a set of cables coming. Unfortunately they're all underneath all this plastic, don't even see where they go in, so they must go in further up here or something like that, so we need all this off, it looks at. So yep, quite a bit involved to be honest, so hopefully we can just leave that in there and feed them in. Or maybe once we get this off, but I doubt it. Nah, it's going to be underneath there, isn't it? So I'll need all of that off now, so it's a bit more labour than just changing the caliper. Obviously if you're doing the pads and discs, you know, we just take one pipe off it, another half hour's labour really to change the caliper, you know. But we'll need to reprice the job now. I had to send the MAN OE filter back, and we got a TJ air filter Clinton Hazel, whatever that means. So let's see, the other one just didn't fit. It left a big gap, so I'll show you in a wee second what I mean. So that slots into there, right, and then it's got to go in. Hold on, I'll pause here. Right, that one's perfect, so I've shoved it down and it's fitted into that channel in there, and there's no gap. So now what happens is you see this plastic bit here makes up part of the box, so it's got to go into that channel in there. So, and the one we had was just a couple of mil too long, and it's really unusual for man, to be honest with you. So normally perfect, like man's what the manufacturer would use, to be honest with you. So don't think Ford and all that make everything, they don't. So it's like people used to say, how can you have these warranties, man? It's like, because well, they go back to NGK, go back to Hings, TJ, Man, whoever, you know, and claim the money back there. So it's not all coming out the manufacturer's pocket sometimes. Anyway, that one fits. Right, so Ford Kuga, stripping these brake cables off so you can see what's happened. It's all breaking up anyway. It wasn't like that until I started touching it, to be honest with you. So you can see all the sheathing has come away, so it's got stuck in there. So it's probably got water in it, it's frozen, and then it's burst all the sheathing, and it's just been getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This pad as well. That's solid. See. Aye, big lever. Right, so 2 new cables there. So fight these old crusty ones out. I've wound the caliper back, so and I'll get this off and get it all cleaned. So the cables are all loose in there, they're all dangling. That side's all built up, just got a cable to put on it. We've used all the slides, pins, so this side's all stripped down. This is part of the caliper, same as the driver's side, right? It's seized in there. So this piston here, but it's like it was seized, and then all of a sudden it just decided it was just going to go no bother, but I couldn't even turn it, and then all of a sudden worked it back and forward a couple of times, and it just was like it wasn't stuck. So anyway, we just need to keep an eye on that one. So we'll crack on, get the pads and disc on this side, and get these cables fitted. So we are in the Ford Kuga. It's a bit of a faff, right? You need to pop this off, right? You need to take the boot off. Once you get that off, there's 2 screws in there. Then that allows you, this is just in push clips, so it allows you to unclip this, right? And it's quite hard to spot it, but if you look over there, there's a stud with a nut on it, and it is quite well adjusted, so I kind of get the cables on. So the best practice is to run this right off, put the cables on, pump the brake pedal up, and then readjust this so that it's right. So we'll slacken this off all the way so that we can get the cables on. That's the way. So there you go, so you can see now that I can put that in there nice and easily, right? So the other side's already in, so obviously don't hook one side in, you can hook one side on, and then you'll need to go and slacken the cable off. So that side's in, the bolts are in, the pads and discs are on. We'll go and pump up the pedal, and well, I've already had a wee pump on the pedal, but we'll give it a further pump, always good, and then we'll check it, adjust it, and once we're happy with it, then we'll put all that back together. Check Haynes Pro, so it's on 1 click, 2 clicks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's literally like, well, it's back down there, it's just sat there, but there's like no adjustment on it. I think we're upside down again, no matter. The usual stuff with the Fords happens in all the cars. So this heat shield's from a Kia Sportage, right? The one that I've cut and modified to fit in there because the hole was bigger. Same with the one in there, the hole had become bigger than the nut, and then the nut actually would not grip because the stud was so rotten. So I've got a big bag of these plastic nuts which are for all these kind of covers and stuff like that. This will not get hot enough that it will melt that, okay? Never in a million years will it. So we fixed the heat shields that were needing fixed, we've put the handbrake cables on, and we've checked everything seems to be free. So yeah, everything's free, so obviously we need to put the wheels on, top the wheels, check the oil level, and then that should be the big Kuga done, and then we'll just need to build up the inside. So we need to reset the service light on the big Kuga, put all this back. I will give this another readjust up, but it's in, handbrake's on, and that's holding, so let it off, we're rolling back. So I'll adjust this up a wee bit more and we'll get all this built back up, and then that'll be it all done. Haven't already, hit the thumb, hit subscribe, have yourselves a great old day. Our road test all good, we're not in gear. Steepest hill in the world this, and it's holding there fine. So I would always, but wouldn't matter if the car was brand spanking new, just out the wrapper, even my wife's with electric handbrake, I put it in a gear, right? I put it in a gear, because you just never know. You never know, man.